Yeah, you wanna put that dish in your mouth.
Wish you could slide into my mind and make me mine. Push play rewind. Let's whip outside, and so am I.
Hi everyone, I'm Dylan B. Dickerson White, Mr. Trans USA 2022, and I'm here with our new Miss Trans Wisconsin. And she's here to kind of introduce herself and give us a little bit more insight into what she's been planning for Wisconsin and for hopefully a reign as Miss Trans USA. And it was really interesting in her bio. If I get this right, born in Nicaragua and
Yeah.
is currently pursuing a degree in rehabilitation sciences. So without further ado, let's have our Miss Trans Wisconsin introduce herself and tell us a little bit more about that degree.
Hi everyone, I'm Wynter. So I'm your Miss Trans Wisconsin 2023, and I'm so excited for this journey and everybody who has been supporting me since day one. And yeah, I go to school at UW-Madison here in Wisconsin. I'm a fifth year pursuing rehabilitation psychology, and I'm going to be graduating this May. So I'm very excited for that, and just excited to get to meet all these people and all these beautiful trans people that we have representing all the states. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and that was like I think the thing that made me so impressed with this entire group of people, and you specifically. Like you said, you recently in your bio as well became a citizen.
Yeah, I recently became a citizen. I think it was the beginning of last year, around February or something.
Oh wow!
So yeah, not long ago.
Yeah, so you're get your citizenship. You're going to get your degree next. Do you have?
Yeah.
Um, can I ask like what kind of inspired you to go into rehab sciences and like what you plan on doing with the degree?
So I started as a like an art major, and then I don't know. I feel like I'm working out with I have an internship which focuses on working with people with autism and working with art and what they want to do. And then I just actually just started today, and it's, it was a great experience to getting to meet all the kids and all the people in general around. So I think that both of them combine. Like I didn't see that coming because I started as an art major and then I switched to that, but they combine in this project that I'm doing for my internship, and it's kind of crazy because I never thought they will, art and thing and rehabilitation psychology will go by hand, but they
You
do.
know,
So
they really do, because you think about how much like even like your performer, I see you're out really,
yeah,
you're like being really busy, booked and blessed, so we get a lot of our own emotional stuff out through art and the things that we do, and just how healing it really is. So as an autistic
yeah,
person, like I know exactly how that like gives somebody an outlet sometimes when you can't say something. So I'm sure that the like being able to put something you're so passionate about, like art, into like your actual work is probably really
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I'm glad we changed our competition from May too, so you wouldn't be like trying to graduate at the same time.
Oh yeah, that would have been crazier.
Yeah,
I know it's in around September, I think.
it is November now. We just
November switched.
yeah,
Okay.
much better. Trust me, you'll get to see in everything too, with being Trans Awareness Month, and you know
Yeah,
having all of us be able to go to Continental and support now.
yeah.
But yeah, I so speaking of like the competition and Trans USA in general, so a lot of people, at least on the boys' side, I've known for a bit, or that we've been talking, but when you jumped in, I hadn't really seen or heard, but I knew I. So how did you get interested in the system?
So I got interested in the system by just following Abigail's journey last year, her being Miss Trans Wisconsin, and just like I know Gerardo, which he was Milwaukee, and I have worked with him a couple of times, multiple times, and we know each other very well. And he told me about it, and then he encouraged me to do it. So I was just like, might as well do it. And, I'm excited, really excited.
No, I me too. That's why it's like it gets me connected with people that I wouldn't have connected with, and now I've been following and watching um, how the things you've been doing out there, and really just kind of stepping into that
Yeah.
role. And so, like, what do you think? Was there anything as soon as you got your sash that kind of changed immediately, like when you started wearing it around?
I think people would just get excited to, especially trans people, to see representation and like just seeing that, there's a trans woman out there that's representing our state for nationals, especially me being an immigrant, like Spanish speaker, first generation student, and all of the above, being trans, the trans woman of color and all of that. I think just definitely change. And then we see the diversity in our state by, having an immigrant as your Miss Trans Wisconsin. And just,
Yeah.
I don't know, I think like people just really, after I have my sash on, people just really respected my work and what I do. And then they know that I take it seriously. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, I am getting my career, but I also want to pursue a career doing drag and doing just shows in general because it's something that I love. So
And I think that's a huge kind of shift for a lot of us. I'm in the same way. I have my career and my day job too, but I don't want to give up something that's such an outlet, like a different type of career. I think being multifaceted is something that we're allowed to be as trans people now.
yeah,
Yeah. So
even like, sorry,
no,
even
no,
yesterday seeing like, Kim Petras and like all these trans women win just make me so excited for the future. It makes me have hopes. So
it's like all these possibilities, and I think
yes,
not even just that, but seeing you're going for your degree, like, and so many people interested in this group of people, that even the younger people who are competing now, people who look up to it, seeing that we can get college degrees, we have all these opportunities. And something I know that you put in your bio was talking about the opportunities, and you just mentioned about trans immigrants, trans women of color, especially now, because I didn't know this originally. Like they're the when I think of Wisconsin now, like it's completely different, because all I would think about was like cows, and like the most generic
yeah,
looking
cheese,
like white
yeah,
farmers, and like, but it's such a diverse community, especially in Milwaukee.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, so that was something I didn't expect. So, but I think
yeah,
that
for sure.
I think going off of that, like, how would you describe like trans issues in Wisconsin for somebody who maybe who's never been there, or like what do you think's the biggest issue, like at least in your local area right now?
The biggest issue, I would probably think that it would be like being aware of your own community and what's going on, and like just being aware of like trans issues in general around the world and around our own communities. I feel like people doesn't really get informed anymore in what's going on with the trans community. The laws that are being passed. I know our state is Democrat right now with Tony Evers, but we still have like a lot of other people that do not agree with their lifestyles. They always want to pass bills and to affect trans people in general, which is so dumb to me. Like, because we're just living, we're existing. Why does that bother you? You should be worrying about education and infrastructure and like helping homeless people and all of these things that are more important than what somebody identify as.
Right, then
So
wasting your money trying to like fight
yeah,
people using a bathroom or
to
something.
use in a bathroom.
Yeah.
I have never really encountered like a bad situation with bathroom. But if I ever did, I don't know. I don't know what will happen, but
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah, I'll just be able to walk away and not say anything because,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I think you kind of hit on something that is another one of the topics we've been talking about in the group, is people have all these misconceptions about what it means to be trans, and what's the community's like. So what do you think, like, what do people kind of get wrong about the trans community, you think, from the outside?
I think there is miscommunication when, just people thinking that somebody identify as something, but they don't personally believe it, or they don't know that this person actually went through all these changes to become the person they identify as today. So I don't know. I feel like it depends. It's just
You're
a really
right.
broad.
It is a broad question because like it depends on which person. Like there's different misconceptions that people have. Like cis gay men may have a very different misconception than the
Even yeah, sorry. Even sorry for interrupting you.
no your interview.
Even
You go
in the
ahead.
drag community, we see a lot of like, oh my God, you're trans, you do drag, and like, how does that work? You're not a gay male dressing up. Like, it's just like broader than that. And I always would like say that, you know, trans women started all this. Like, trans women of color, black women, trans black women, Latina, all of that. So it's not something new. We've seen
Right.
trans women through decades and years of contributing to what the LGBT community is now and fighting for rights. So
Right. Like this is not a new thing, guys.
no.
But I actually this kind of hits on something since we're both performers, we both do this kind of a lot. And I've been talking with people in general about like pet peeves, silly little things that kind of are annoying, not like the super serious ones. So in this particular situation, I kind of wanted to ask, like, what's your dressing room pet peeve? Like something that bothers you when people like do or don't do in the dressing room.
Let me think. Okay, I think it'll have to be like when they move the fan, because we usually have a fan for everybody to hit when we get out of stage, because it's so hot
Mhm.
because you're moving, and people just grab for themselves and they just like, and everybody's like, oh my God, I need a fan, I need something, like I need to breathe. But it will be that, and also just people throwing their stuff everywhere around where you have to walk.
Yeah.
Just don't do that. And
Yeah.
also like hygiene. You should,
It's a good one.
hygiene. God, I have never said anything to anybody about, smelling, but like, if you have hygiene, everybody will notice, everybody, will walk around and, oh, we know who that is.
Right.
And they will remember you as that person that, the
You'll be
person who
remembered as
smells this
distinctive.
kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. The person who smells this a certain way. Like, I get it, all body positivity, do all you want, but, be
But
mindful of other people as well.
right. No, and for me, a lot of it is I know for me, I sweat a lot. So being able to
Yeah.
wash the stuff, I have to wash everything every single time. Like there is
Hmm.
no like, washing your drag, especially. Um, for me, like I want to say like let's do like even outside of so outside of the dressing room, I'd say like because I agree with everything you're saying. Pet peeve, like something that's so dumb for me, but I can't like I keep giving the same example of clipping nails, but the sound of ripping paper is another one. I have to like leave the room. Like I don't like the way it sounds. So I was like, do you have anything like
Yeah.
that? Like a sound that bothers you?
Um, when I hear like a hill clack, or like just go like this, like a hill, it just makes me
Yeah.
like tickle. Like it makes me like weird.
Yeah. Sometimes that sound that hits you in your brain and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of like I love throwing silly stuff in there sometimes too, but let's get a little bit more into the pageant itself. Is there any particular category you're like really excited about?
I'm excited about, the gowns, or like evening wear, I think. I mean, I haven't really started planning or working on that yet because I just started school not long ago and I had to figure out all these things. But at some point, I want to sit down and like maybe sketch something that I want done. And I have talked to so many friends. They're willing to help me and they're willing to do a lot of things for me. And I appreciate that so much because like I'm like, like life is so crazy, like work, drag,
Right.
school, all
It's
of
a
these
lot.
things.
You're,
It's a
you're
lot.
you're doing a lot at once, and
Yeah, and then I'm doing the pageant, and then it's like, yeah.
as somebody who was
So
like still performing in like grad school, I I didn't sleep much, and if I didn't have help from my little team here and support,
Hmm.
I'd be lost too. Like, people don't realize the village it takes to put a pageant package together. It's not something you do alone.
But it's also not about like how expensive something is or how like it's about how you feel and like what you transmit to people. Even if it's like $100 dress, who
Mm,
cares? If you put it on and you feel like you're doing your best, it doesn't matter if you're anybody else. I've seen people have like $1,000 dresses and all of that, and then the person that they people thought it was gonna win because they had everything in like their rhinestone and all that, it didn't happen because it's all about you, your personality, who you are, what do you present to the panel and the judges and all of that. And
exactly.
yeah,
It's especially with a category where it's, modeled after sort of more traditional like pageants, like, Miss Universe, Miss America, like the actual Miss America, like where you're looking at gowns that are not just entirely covered in stones, and that's it.
yeah,
It's not about how much money you would spend. It's really like showing your personality through that, and like it's really fun to be able to see. Like, I see your pictures like that you're posting up, and like your personality just, and all of the contestants like coming out like in just a photo, and just being able to see that on stage. Like, I think everyone's going to get really excited, just to
yeah.
be able to see what everyone's putting out there if it's something that's so different. So on the flip side, is there any category that you're like really nervous about?
I think probably like the swimsuit. I think is that a so
Yeah.
just I have a lot of body dysmorphia and dysphoria and all that, so it just gets me a little nervous, but I know I'll get it through it.
I I understand that. I mean, I can say I had the same sort of. I cried a couple
Yeah.
times leading up to this, and I heard that's not like an out there thing, but when I got there, I can tell you, it's just the feeling of everybody kind of had the same fear, and when you're competing against everybody who's really in that same headspace, like it somehow
Yeah.
disappears. Like, and have everyone cheer for you. Like, it was actually the most fun one for me to do, even though I was most terrified of it because
Hmm.
I'd never done it before.
Yeah.
They don't always let us do those.
Yeah.
So
And
I think,
then we have national custom too, right?
yeah, your
National
state.
custom.
Mhm.
We'll see what I do. I am not doing beer or cheese or cheese curds. I no.
Because like you'd have to think of
Um,
or like a cow or something.
no.
That's what
I
Johnny
I
does.
I have things in mind that I want to do, but it doesn't relate cheese or beer.
I think,
So
after like people have done that for a couple years now, you're like, I don't want to do the same thing that somebody else did.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like this day is more than that with it. Like yeah, there's so many other things that we can do. So
Yeah. I think
pretty
that's my favorite part
excited.
of that category, learning from you guys, like what your state's about, and
Yeah,
so I've got to say, what, why would, like, you've been in Wisconsin. Why was Wisconsin the choice, when you moved here?
okay. So it wasn't really my choice. My mom lived here for like
Oh,
14, 15 years. But I mean, I learned to fall in love with, where I live in Madison. It's a beautiful city and it's also so beautiful in summer. Like, people visit here and like they love it. So, I mean, I learned how to like, love the place. And I don't see anytime soon me moving, but maybe if it happens, it will happen. But I don't know. I don't see myself anytime soon.
and I mean, like, it makes sense because you're just graduating this year too, and you don't know where your job's going to take you. But it's also like, if you're in a place that feels that good, then you don't really have to think about it. um,
Yeah,
I think so. This is interesting. Are you in a place where you can have pets?
I do have a pet.
Ooh,
Um, Yeah, so I got this emotional support little card that you get because they usually charge you if you have a pet or they don't allow you. So I'm like, I don't deal with that. So I just got it for her. And then she makes me feel stable when I'm around her. So
that's
it's,
um.
yeah,
So what kind of?
it's a cat. Her name is Luna.
Oh,
I don't know. She's she's very sleepy. She sleeps through the day and then she wakes me up at night.
Oh, of course.
She cries a lot. She likes to communicate crying. Very talkative all the time since she was a baby.
Oh, that makes sense because I mean I recently asked this, like I have dogs. I actually have one of them as an ESA. She's sitting over here staring at me because she knows that word, like she knows the letters. But the reason I ask is, okay, we talk about cats and dogs, but like if you were able to have any kind of exotic pet, something really strange, what would it be?
Mm, let me think.
Like
I think like a tarantula or like mm,
like I can't do
I
spiders, I
don't
mean,
know.
like at all. So you can keep that.
That or maybe like a snake or
Okay.
something. I don't know. Something weird.
Something strange, yeah. Like
Yeah.
something, it's a conversation starter too. Like, why do you have a giant spider over there?
Yeah, just sitting there waiting for it to bite you or something.
It keeps people away that you don't want to be there, right? I think, on my end, I think I'm currently like I want an otter, but I know you really shouldn't have those, and you can't.
Mm,
But if it's something that like I can actually have, maybe like a hedgehog, you know,
yeah.
something like that. Okay, so I think that talking about this is actually a topic that we've talked about with a couple other people, and it's really cool to see what everybody says about it. So when I say like the phrase trans excellence, I know that means different things to different people. What does that mean when I to you when I say that?
Trans X-Men. For me, it means being unapologetically me, being a trans queer woman of color from a heritage that not has always been viewed as like respected or anything around in the States. But I know that, my people, Latino people, we work hard and we put in the work. I saw the American dream so far away when I used to live in my country, because I never thought I would move here or anything. I always thought that, like, my life would be where I was, but I lived in fear of, me being a lot of trans women in my country get murdered for being who they are. So I had to move somewhere else to, flourish and to be myself. And I see it now, and I just see myself as trans excellence. I thought I did everything I needed to do. I helped my mom, and I feel like that's the most important thing to me, having the respect of my mom and winning my family over and just be respecting my community and loved, and people coming up to me and saying hi, or even like I remember doing Pride in Milwaukee, and like these little kids came up to me and they were like, they looked so proud, and like they came up to me for a picture and they like, oh, I love you, and like it made me feel so special because I don't see a lot of trans, performers.
Yeah,
So I feel like once you do that, or once you feel complete and happy in your life, that's when you're successful. So
that's actually really beautiful. And I didn't really you hit on a really big issue, like about trans women of color and trans women in other countries, like where it's faced. So you had lived there for a while. So what would you say to people that were in your situation, like maybe right now?
um, I would probably say if there's nothing else for you to be there for or to fight for, just move on somewhere else and start a new life where you're respected and you're loved. Um, I remember with my mom, it was like a journey for her to, accept me for being trans. And even some of my family didn't understand that. But I know with the years, it takes patience, it takes love and everything because, not you can't expect everybody to understand who you are, but they can only do is respect.
Right.
So I feel like my mom was respectful and she was somehow understanding of who I wanted to be, but I think just time heals everything, and she's now understanding. She loves me. I even talked to her about, are you gonna come see me when I do this pageant? She's like, I'll be there. But you never know, something comes up. Hopefully she's there. But if she's not, I know she's gonna be supporting me
No, and that's
anyway. So
absolutely amazing. Like I love, you being able to be honest with people about the message, but also another message ties in there. You already said, like, when it may take time for your family, and maybe for some people that's not going to happen, but being able to have your family there for you, like, and I'm gonna see if we can make sure, like, because it's an all ages thing, everybody's families are welcome, and just, I think, once we see that, imagine a young trans kid, for example, being at this pageant because it's all age and seeing your family, like knowing that this is an option and you can still have your family, you can still have that life, that you've wanted.
yeah,
And
I feel like, yeah, understanding is like the best thing, and also being patient because you're not everybody's gonna understand it right away, and that's fine. Maybe they need to take a little time to fully process that. For me, my mom, she needed to process that her son was gonna be a girl, and that's how it needed to be. And at the end of the day, I found myself. I lived a long time as a gay man, but then I realized, like, I'm not happy being a gay man. I'm not happy, in this body. So I had to pursue what made me happy, what made me comfortable, and just being around the people who supports you no matter what. I lost so many friends because of me transitioning, but also I gained so many because you know people is always going to be there in your life, or they're going to leave. And like, I always think of this, that whoever is there is going to stay there to support your whatever you go through,
yeah,
and whoever left was never meant to be in your life. So
right. And then, I think that a lot of this too, like you said, people are gonna just, if they're there to support you and not make it about them, then they'll be there. If not, then you've got way more important things to worry about than that,
yeah.
And I think, just, do you think, based on, like, do you think that you like, let me rephrase that. How have you personally, think changed how you think about yourself throughout your transition? Like, do you think about yourself differently now?
In what perspective? Like, what do you mean?
Um, like, for me, I would say, like, I used to think of myself, as a very just awkward, shy, I guess, person, and I still kind of do, but I think I see now what other people see, and I think
Yeah.
that was the big difference for me, was the disconnect in my head, between what I saw and what other people saw. Do you see yourself, you think, how other people see you now?
Yeah, I think I was always very like outgoing and open, and like I've always worn like crazy outfits even in high school. Like I will get dress coded, but like I will be like, how come that girl's not being dress coded for having a crop top? But I think I just learned to be more outgoing, and to be more like, I don't know, just to be out there, because I didn't used to go out as much and like meet new people because I was so scared of what people was gonna think about me. But now I love going out with my friends, and I love, being surrounded by the community and all the things that I have done through drag. So definitely drag opened the doors for me to
Oh
so
yeah,
many things, and to so many people that I have loved and met through the years now. Um,
yeah. So
so yeah.
yeah, no, that's exactly what I was trying to get at with that question. It was just worded a little weird. You're right. I think so. I know it was this way for me, but was drag, like, something that helped you realize you were trans, or did that come after?
I think I'm a little after, but I also like, I knew what drag was. I will always think like, oh my God, I would never do drag, like, because I wasn't informed, that trans women could do drag and have been doing drag for years. So I'll be like, I don't want them to see me as a gay man in a wig.
Right.
But then I learned, and I teach myself all the things that I needed to do about what trans people have done for our community, and their impact, and what everybody should know, especially if you're in the community. So I feel like drag just is so just so crazy to me, how many people you can meet, and like so many friendships you can make, and like having people surround you all the time with so much love. So, I mean, I feel like Winter. When I have my name that is Wynter Keeve Zamora, that's just my legal name. That most people know me, and most of my friends just call me Keeve. But then I have Winter the Brat. That's like my stage name, which is more like, I don't know, it's my inner self being sexy and unapologetic in stage, and like, yeah.
I definitely get that. So, I mean, I have to ask, like, which name you, because I probably should have specified because the application was a little unclear about this, but which one would you want us to use going forward for the pageant?
I think just my legal name is fine.
All right. Just
My drag name is more stage. This
right.
is more me. I want to represent me in the pageant. So,
all right, I like that. All right, I'm just making sure. With that, I think that we're hitting that kind of like half-hour mark here. So I think I wanted to end with, when we talk about pageants and we talk about advocacy work, Trans USA is a lot about what you can do for the community, but there's also another part of it. So I wanted to ask, if you could take one thing away from nationals for yourself personally, what would you want that to be?
Like take away in the sense of learning
or like what would you want to get out of the experience?
I think I want to, just meet the people that is competing, and like having a friendship that can last for a long time, and just getting to know people in my community, and just getting to see so many trans people in one room is going to be so crazy because I have never experienced that. So just learning that, and also learning to love ourselves, to love our bodies, to respect everybody. And, even in our trans community, sometimes we can be a little criticized.
Yeah.
We criticize a lot of things.
Me too.
But we should be supporting each other, and we should be talking in a good way of what the future holds for us and what we want to do in our career and goals in life. And just meeting people and getting to know everyone is going to be exciting. And maybe just take away that even if you don't win that night, even if you don't get on top of whatever happens, it's like you're representing yourself and your state, and representing the queer community in your state. So just being there makes you who you are, and a winner, and whatever you want to call it. So
no, that's actually perfect, and like you hit on everything that is so amazing about it, and what I thought, because I'm a really competitive person, like I'm really I was all about winning in a lot of other things I've done before, but for me to not feel like that, and not feel that pressure, and to just be like, you're with dozens of other trans people, and it's like something you don't always get, and you're not that one trans person in the competition, or like that one or two, and it's completely a different experience. And I know that's like, you're excited about that, and knowing that that's what is going to happen. From personal experience, I could tell you, it's something you're excited, but you're never prepared for how amazing it actually is. But I just want to like say that, and you hit on a really good point that I think we end on. Like, this is about celebrating like so many different things, and not being like, yes, we're being judged, but we're not being critical of ourselves in that respect. So it's like getting people excited. I think this interview is going to get people really excited to see you and follow you throughout the year, and just kind of all of our contestants and their projects. So with that, I just wanted to ask before we closed out, if there's anything you'd like to say to people about following you throughout the year, where they can catch you, anything like that.
Yeah, so I mean, I just wanted to say that I love that this is a very inclusive place where, your body doesn't matter, your body type, however you identify. And it's just lovely to see that, you can be queer, trans, plus size, whatever size you are, you can be welcome here, in whatever religion. So I love that about this. And I don't know, they can follow me on my social media as Wynter the Brat. So I'll be posting things and updates, and we'll see what my package is going to be. I don't know what it is right now, but I'll know sooner. So,
and I mean,
you want to put that dish in your mouth.
my name is Wynter Keeve Zamora, and I am currently a Miss Trans Wisconsin 2023, as well as Mixed Medicine Pride crown last year in summer during Pride Month. The purpose for me to join this pageant was to show the diversity and the different cultures that can come together in a very big space for us as trans people, and show that we are so diverse, we are so different, and we come from different cultures, as well as I am a trans woman of color and also come from a Latinx background. I want to be able to show everyone that you can be yourself, especially in my community. I am an immigrant and a first-generation student here at UW-Madison, Wisconsin. And I am graduating on May, and I'm very excited for that. So I think some of the work that I'm doing right now is gonna help me with my career, and as well with the things that I want to do if I was able to win Miss Trans USA. I think just changing lives and showing people that being authentic and being yourself can help so many other people come out and be free and be happy. I am currently working with kids with disability to make art, and it's something that makes me so fulfilled every day, and it's something that I want to do for the rest of my life. So I hope you guys have a good day and enjoy your evening or night wherever you are. Thank you so much.
You wanna put that dish in your mouth?